Hello and welcome to the United Forum. This is your latest Manchester United news, Manchester United transfer news updates, and your opportunity to voice your opinion out. To start off, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's pre-match press conference is what we have today. Not much, but we've got a few news. He was asked about players such as Varane, Cavani, Sancho, Jesse Lingard, Ahmed Diallo, James Garner, and a few others as well. It was not much, yes, but I've got to you with the press match conference reaction. Before I start off the show, I know the past few shows we've had a few issues. The first show, in fact, we had a few issues with the internet. The second show was quite good. The third show, we did have a few issues with the camera. Hopefully, fingers crossed once again, things are much better this time, and things go well for us, and we end the show well as well. To start off, uh, let me start with Pogba. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked what it'll take for Pogba to sign the contract, and what Solskjaer did say was quite. In fact, what he did was like put that Pogba agenda quite not agenda, but in fact put Paul Pogba's attention away from him. Uh, what he did say is that at the end of the day, negotiations are between Paul Pogba's people and the club. What me and Paul are doing is we are working together to improve the team and make sure we are enjoying ourselves. We had a fantastic result last week, but one swallow doesn't make the summer, is uh, what Solskjaer did say. I've got a comment saying that I'm not being heard. On the live comments, please do let me know if you can hear me, or is it just that you can't hear me clear enough? Because I'm a little confused. I really don't want another problem at this time. Let me just check it. I really don't want another problem at this time. Let me just check it. Quite clear. I just checked it up on my phone. So yes, let's continue with the show. That is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say about Paul Pogba. So hopefully Paul Pogba signs that contract this time. Solskjaer did not give us a clear view of what is actually happening, but what he did say is that negotiations are happening between Paul Pogba's people and the club. Ultimately, I think it's down to that. What happens between that negotiation and what is the liking and decision of Paul Pogba at the end of the day. I think what will give a positive result for us is this season. We need to have not just a good season, a season with silverware, with proper silverware. The Champions League, FA Cup, got plenty of trophies to win this season. It's ours to lose, I must say. I think we should go grab those trophies in order to keep valuable players like Paul Pogba, maybe Bruno Fernandes in future, and who knows, in time to come, even Rafael Varane, Maguire, Luke Shaw. These players want to win things, and we need trophies. We need trophies to keep players, to keep building that reputation of Manchester United and keep that Manchester United DNA going on. To move on, let me just say Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about a few players. He was asked about a starting lineup. He was asked for a few hints. Solskjaer really did not give us any hints at all. What he did say was, we had a great start to the season last week. He was full of compliments about the match we had against Leeds United. He was basically complimenting that and saying that we had a good start to the season. It was all positives. He was asked about Rafael Varane. He did say Rafael Varane is a great player. He is a good player for Manchester United. He'll make that winning mentality come and all that. He did say all that. And when about the starting lineup, what he said was, you will have to wait and see who starts, is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say. So yes, we still don't have a clear view of what Solskjaer is going to do, but I must say that Sancho and Rafael Varane have to start from here. I'll get back to that later on. Solskjaer was asked about Ahmed Diallo and about Ahmed Diallo, if he will be going on loan or not. And so what Solskjaer did say was, it's about the right place, right move, which I think is a hint that Ahmed Diallo might not go on loan, because if he is going on loan, he was linked to He was linked to Sheffield United. He was linked to Crystal Palace as well. I think it should be a Premier League move for him. It shouldn't be Sheffield United. Sheffield United is a Championship club. I personally don't think that is a football. Ahmed Diallo should be playing at the moment. I think Crystal Palace would be the perfect move. Maybe a Leeds United, but I don't really think he'll move to Leeds United at the moment. It will be Crystal Palace for me. I think Crystal Palace is the movement. Is the place for Ahmed Diallo on loan for this season for me. But with Solskjaer saying it's about the right place, the right move, shows that there are a few concerns, there are a few things to think about. He might stay this season at Manchester United. He might not stay. If he does stay, it's a little confusing actually. I think he should go on loan because on that right flank, Diallo plays on the right wing. On the right wing, we've got Sancho, we've got Daniel James, we got Jesse Lingard who can play on that right wing as well. And with Ahmed Diallo coming, if he does not go on loan, uh, if Ahmed Diallo does not go on loan, I was just going through a few comments at the so that pause. So if Ahmed Diallo does not go on loan once again, will he get that place on the bench? Because you've got the likes of Daniel James, you've got the likes of Jesse Lingard. If Jesse Lingard does not go, so would Ahmed Diallo fit on that bench? He's a 19-year-old. He's got plenty of talent, I must say. I think he needs a loan move this season. That would be ideal for him, and that too, a Premier League mid-table move for him is what should be done. Uh, Moving on about Jesse Lingard. What Solskjaer did say about Lingard is, let me get to that. Just give me a moment. Yes, what Solskjaer did say about Lingard is Jesse Lingard's first priority is to get into our team. We together can have great moments. Again, once again about Ahmad, it has to be the right loan. So yes, for me, Lingard has to move. Fit into Jesse Lingard's shoes. Lingard knows he is not going to get game time at Manchester United. At the moment, I'm sure that Lingard needs game time. It's for the best of his career. He has to move away from Manchester United. Lingard knows he needs a move. I think Solskjaer personally knows he needs a move. We've got to get him the right move. He has been linked to West Ham. I think West Ham would be the perfect place for him. You saw last season when he moved on January to West Ham. The impact he made for West Ham at the Premier League. He did win, I think, goal of the month. I'm not quite sure if he did win player of the month. I don't quite remember that, but he did win goal of the month. And that small time space he had at West Ham got him into contention at the Euros. He was at the reserve squad as well. So I think it's for the best of his career. It's for the best of him. It's for the best of Manchester United. He's got to move to West Ham. Apart from West Ham, he has also been linked to Everton, which I think is also a decent move. I think he'll get plenty of game time. They are comparing to Manchester United. Moving on, I'll move to James Garner. Solskjaer was also asked about James Garner along with those players I mentioned earlier, the likes of Rafael Varane, Sancho, Edinson, Cavani, Jesse Lingard. He was also asked about James Garner. What Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say about James Garner. I'm impressed with the summer. James Garner has said he had a great preseason, but he needs to go on loan, play week in, week out, and develop himself. Yes, I think people do call him the next Michael Carrick. I think he is a great player. I did have a few glimpses of him playing for the under 21 team of Manchester United. I think a few seasons back. I think last season he was on loan at Nottingham Forest. So the season before back, I did have a few glimpses of him playing. I saw a few good long range goals he had scored. I saw a few good goals on Nottingham Forest that he had scored. Uh, I think he is a great defensive midfielder. He is a perfect fit for Manchester United. Just not yet. Maybe one more season on loan, and then he could move to Manchester United. Uh, that is that about James Garner. I think if Solskjaer is planning to play James Garner on loan next season, who is he going to play at that defensive midfielder role this season? Because Solskjaer can't manage to play two defensive midfielders this season with the fans in the ground. The fans don't like it. I'm not quite sure if Ollie knows that fans out there don't like it, but I'm very sure the fans out there don't like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer playing that midfield pivot of McFred and Scott Ma- in fact, that midfield pivot of McFred, Scott McTominay, and McFred. Once again, Scott McTominay and Fred. It's a bit of a mixed up. With that, I think Van de Beek should start. Fans want to see Van de Beek out there. I'm not quite sure why Solskjaer does not get Van de Beek to play out there. Moving on about Dean Henderson. Uh, Solskjaer was also asked about Dean Henderson. Solskjaer did say that uh, he is struggling with long COVID, which is like something like the after effects of the COVID-19 virus. Solskjaer also did say that this is a new virus and no one really knows what happens after this. He was not present for the preseason early on, then he got back for the preseason. He did not train, and now he's back for training, but not with the squad. He is individually training at the moment, so he's not with the squad yet. He will take time to get into that squad, I think. I think one of the sources had released that if Ahmed Diallo was not affected with COVID-19, he would have been the number one for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which I really don't think is true. Because Dean Henderson is an English player. All those English and British, in fact, English media outlets out there are going to say that Dean Henderson was the number one who was the start for this season had it not been for COVID. Whenever Dahia makes the smallest mistakes, the British media is going to go after him because they want to see Dean Henderson start. After all, he is an English player. They'll back the English player. They won't back David Dahia. So you'll see a lot of agenda once Dean Henderson is fit. It's going to be another season full of arguments between Dean Henderson and David Dahia on who is going to start. I really think if Solskjaer was going to start Dean Henderson for the preseason for this season as number one. In fact, I shouldn't be saying this. Anybody should not be affected with COVID-19, but I think that really helped David Dahia get into that spot of number one, and I think he deserves that spot. I know David Dahia had a good. I must say he had a decent season last summer. A lot of people say that he did not have a very good season, but I think he had a good season. It was just that final which people did not like. And it's not Dahia to blame there. It's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be blamed. He did not use his substitutes. He could have subbed off David Dahia for that penalty shootout. Yes, Dahia did not save any penalties, and it was Dahia's penalty that decided that match. It shouldn't have gone to penalties. It shouldn't have been Dahia's kick that decided that final. So I really don't think Dahia should be taken away from that spot of number one. I think he should be given one more season. Just have a go at Dahia one more season. If he does have a good season once again, I think he should go on with that number one. I think one of the goalkeepers should have been sold last summer, not last summer, in fact, this summer. And once Tom Heaton came, I really did think that Solskjaer was going to move on with one of David Dahia or Dean Henderson because I think the ideal person to sell right now will be Dean Henderson. He's young, he's affordable. With David Dahia, he's aging, and he has not been in the best of forms, and his wages cannot be afforded by any other club right now, especially due to the COVID-19 situation around the globe. So I think the ideal person who would have the ideal person to be sold would have been David Dahia. In fact, not David Dahia, but not David Dahia. In fact, it should be Dean Henderson. And I've got a comment here. It's by Fadzli. Not quite sure what that name is. He says, Odegaard announced his retirement from UEFA Champions League. Real Madrid star Real is the source after joining Arsenal. In fact, what breaking news that is! What news that is! From Real Madrid to Arsenal, he's moved on to a Finnish club. Anyway, this is the United Forum. Let's stick to the United news. But I think that is a great comment. That is a great, in fact, good news for all. Most of us fans here, apart from the Arsenal fans, in fact, you guys are a Finnish club. You've got Ben Shite on your squad. We did see him. My goodness, comparing him to Rafael Varane. They did say Rafael Varane will struggle and Shite's gonna shine. So let's stay away from that. That was it about Dean Henderson. So yes, he is back in training, but not with the squad. He is training individually. About the Southampton game, this is something I really want to talk about. Solskjaer was asked about the Southampton game, and when he was asked about the game, what Solskjaer did say was, look, Southampton will play with high pressing and high confidence. I think that's something we have seen throughout the seasons, throughout the past seasons. Southampton are very good at their press. The only difference this time is they've not got Danny Ings, but I think they've got a really good replacement for him in Armstrong. I don't think that'll really be a problem. But we do know that Southampton do play with a high press and with a good level of confidence, and Manchester United at times have struggled. We did see last season when we won 3-1, if I'm not wrong. Cavani scored two goals, two brilliant goals, in fact, and we won that match. We struggled. Most of last season, we were second half FC. At the first half, I really did not know what we were doing, but at the second half, we were on the next level. We were like the real Manchester United. The second half team talk by Solskjaer needs to be given before the match this season, because things are going to get much tougher. I'll tell you why in a while. And why? Get into that. Solskjaer was asked about the away form. He did say it was fantastic. That's the way he says it, right? Fantastic. Uh, he was also asked if the crowds in the ground will make it harder, and he said definitely 100%. Also about the form away from home, what Solskjaer did say about that was, look, last season we won a lot of games away from home when we went behind, and when we went behind and when we started badly. This season, if we start games badly and we go behind and teams have got home support, that's going to be hard for us to come back again because it's not a neutral ground, which is quite true. I think that's common sense for all of us. Majority of last season, in fact, the whole of last season, we did not have fans in the ground. Be it Manchester United, Old Trafford, be it the Chelsea ground, be it at Carrington, be it at the Monilocks, uh, be it at anywhere of the 18 grounds, in fact, available. Any of those grounds did not have fans. So it was a neutral ground. We did not have fans. We did not have that pressure from the away fans. So whenever we played bad on the first half, like we did last season, most of last season, we all of us witnessed that. Most of last season, Manchester United were known as the second half FC. We did come back a lot in the second half. I think it was not just throughout the Premier League. We saw that throughout the Champions League as well, which I think cost us that Red Bull Leipzig game, which we lost and got knocked out of the Champions League. So we did see that we bounced back on that second half after having a bad first half, which should not happen this season. This season, from the first half, we've got to play our A game. It's going to be really difficult with those away fans out there. There's going to be a lot of pressure. I was going to say pleasure. My goodness, there's going to be a lot of pressure. So I really don't think we can have that bad first half and come back like we've come back last season to win on games with the away fans coming back into the stadiums. Uh, Also about away fans and home fans, Sasha was asked about that, and what he did say was, in relation to this season, we got to start games better and we got to manage games better. We've got the best away fans in the world, where we got to make our away crowd and give our away crowd something to sing about so that they are louder than the home support. Once again, like I said, he wants to manage games, he wants to start games better in the first half away from home this season. Solskjaer knows that it's not going to be easy to come back like we did last in the majority of last season in games. It's not going to be easy to come back and go on to win games like we did last season. I think we should start our A game from that first minute. Solskjaer should be giving that team talk he gave on the second half before the match and get those players motivated. Uh, that is pretty much that, in fact, about the Southampton game. And if you did read the whole description of this video, it did say AWB, Aaron Van Bissaka, out for the Southampton game. Let me get to that for you guys. So Aaron Van Bissaka, this was from United exclusive and it was also on other sources. So Aaron Van Bissaka has been charged with driving his Lamborghini while disqualified and without insurance. The maximum penalty for driving while disqualified can be 6 months in prison. I'll repeat that. The maximum penalty for driving while disqualified can be 6 months in prison, but can also be subject to a community order. We're just starting our season. Last season we got Maguire in prison, and now we are on the verge of getting Aaron Wan Bissaka in prison. So I have my doubts over Wan Bissaka starting the match on Southampton. I really couldn't get anything about Wan Bissaka from that press conference. I'm not quite sure if he can start after what has happened since he drove his vehicle without a license. I'm not quite sure if that was his vehicle, but it does say he did drive a Lamborghini without insurance and disqualified, blah, 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 blah. So yes, Aaron Van Bissaka is a doubt for that Southampton game. Not quite sure. Like I said, I'm not quite sure if he can start the game because we've still not got proper news if he is going to be sentenced in prison for 6 months or a community order. Since now, listen, if I was driving that Lamborghini with while being disqualified and without insurance, definitely it would have been 6 months in prison for me. But since it's Aaron Van Bissaka, since he is a professional footballer for Manchester United and England, I think this can turn to be a community order. I'm sure he's got a few good lawyers out there, so he can talk things out, and hopefully he doesn't have to spend 6 months in prison. But suppose he does spend 6 months in prison, what happens to that right back slot for Manchester United? Hopefully, Dalot does not go on loan this season. So Dalot might start. We might get Kieran Trippier. If we are going for Kieran Trippier, Trippier is a La Liga winner. Will he be okay to sit on the bench? Because for this first 6 months, he comes in, he might start for Manchester United. But what's going to happen once Aaron Wan-Bissaka comes? Will he be happy to sit on that bench? And are you going to pay? It's about 30 million they're asking for Atletico Madrid for a player who's going to turn 30 next month. So I'm not quite sure what will actually happen there. Hopefully, when Bisaka gets to start tomorrow, I've not got clear news about that. So hopefully, when Bisaka does starts tomorrow, and that penalty for driving the Lamborghini without insurance and for being disqualified is a community order. Is it right? Community order. I did say that right. Yes, hopefully it is a community order for him and not a sentence of 6 months in prison. Also about the Pogba's contract situation, like I said, to keep Pogba, we have to win a few trophies. This season, Solskjaer did clear out what's actually happening with Pogba. They are going on negotiations. It's between Paul Pogba's people and the club. So that's negotiations going there. It's up to Paul Pogba and his team ultimately. Hopefully they decide and say Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United. That's pretty much it, what I've got from the press conference. Moving on, I would go to my predicted lineup for Manchester United against the Southampton game. Mind you, Manchester United take on Southampton on Sunday. Let me just double check that. If I'm not wrong, it's on Sunday at 6 p.m. So let me just check that. Yes, I'm wrong. It's on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. My bad. So once again, Manchester United take on Southampton on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. If you guys play Fantasy Premier League, to all you guys playing Fantasy Premier League, the links in the description for our league. Go hit the link and join our league if you do play Fantasy Premier League, and share the link around as well. This does not have to be shared among just Manchester United players. Share it to who you know who plays the Fantasy Premier League. So my predicted lineup for the Southampton game. Once again, do send your opinions on the live chat. Send in your predicted lineups on the live chat as well. Moving on to my predicted lineup for the Southampton game. For me, between the sticks at the goal, number one for me, it's David De Gea. Uh, at right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So if Wan-Bissaka doesn't start, if he is not being allowed to start because of this incident, uh, hopefully it'll be Diogo Dalot. Let me just spin this here. Like Akif Ahmed says, he is unfortunately famous. Yes, in fact, not unfortunately, but fortunately, he is famous and does not have to go for 6 months in prison. Moving on to my getting back to my predicted lineup, it is Aaron Wan-Bissaka between Lindelof and Harry Maguire. Listen, on that situation between Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to get to a settled starting 11 this season, and he needs to get to that fast. I know Rashford's injured. Okay, leave that left wing apart. Get the others fixed. Get your fixed starting 11 because you can't be changing things around at the middle of the season. Because I know Lindelof had a good game last season. McTominay had a good game, not last season, in fact, last week. McTominay and Fred had a good game last week. This was because it was Leeds United. At Leeds United, you get plenty of space and time, and that is why players like Scott McTominay and Fred Rodriguez shined. And I think why Victor Lindelof got to make that assist was also because he got plenty of time and space. I know he has done that previously, but I think specifically on that Leeds game, I think he got that assist especially because he got that time and space. And also Paul Pogba got a lot of time and space. He made sure he made use of that. So I think like Solskjaer did say on the first pre-match press conference, Leeds United is one-off game. So yes, I hope he remembers that he said that that is one-off game. Leave that game aside. Now get to a settled starting 11. So for me, the starting 11 should be Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Nemanja Matic, no, not Matic. It's going to be Fred, Donny van de Beek, Bruno Fernandes. For Pogba on the left wing, I really don't like him playing on the left wing, but yes, I think Solskjaer will have him. We'll stick to him on the left wing for now. Mason Greenwood, hopefully, I don't think Cavani does not. I think, not hopefully, in fact, I don't think Cavani will be able to start. He did extend his holiday, and I think he has not been in training enough. So I'm not sure if he can start. So it'll be Mason Greenwood at that striker's role and at the right wing. I think we should start with Jadon Sancho. Hopefully, he does not start Dan James. James had a bad game against Leeds United. Leeds United is a game meant for Daniel James, I think, and he failed to make good use of it. I thought Southampton is going to be really difficult for Manchester United because we've struggled against a low block throughout last season. Hopefully, once Varane comes, Sancho is back, things change. So yes, that is my predicted lineup. I think Anthony Martial will start the second half once again. I don't think he's got to that mark yet after his injury. So, yes, that is my predicted lineup. And on the predicted scores, do send in that as well on the live chat what you predict the score would be for the Southampton game. With Varane coming in, I really want that clean sheet. It's going to be his first game, so I'm not quite sure. Want to watch him play. I still can't judge him, so I really don't know if he can get that clean sheet. Yes, he's got a plenty of experience, but once again, the Premier League is going to be a new experience for him. So it's going to be 3-1 for me. 3-1 to Manchester United is what I'll predict. Hopefully, that will be a result after all. Whether it's 3-1, 2-1, or 1-0, I just want Manchester United to go away with those 3 points on Sunday. That is pretty much it for the show today, guys. This is a short show. I've got a few requests to keep my shows short. So since it has been about for 40 to 35 minutes at times, I've got a few requests to keep the show short. So yes, I'm trying my best to, to there's quite a lot of content I've got to give you guys. So yes, I'm trying my best to get those important points out here and give that to you and shorten my content and shorten the show like you guys request. So yes, I think I had a good show. Things went well for me. No issues with the internet, no issues with the camera. Currently, we are at 91 subscribers, if I'm not wrong. So please do subscribe, give this video a like, and also share this video. Get me to a 25 likes. I know I asked for 50. I really don't see us going there at this point of time. So let's get to 25 first. So do get me 25 likes, share this video, get me to 100 subscribers by the end of August is what I'm hoping to. So we at 91 subscribers, just 9 away. So do share this video to 9 good friends of yours who will subscribe to this channel. That's it for today. Safe. If you are in Sri Lanka, yes, we are back to lockdown. So do stay home, stay safe, and until I see you back on Sunday for the post match reaction and player ratings. Stay home, stay safe, and have a good night. This is the United Forum.